the union government.
ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಓನರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು
ನೇರವಾಗಿ demanded that the government help them and we have decided to help them.
ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೌಲ್ಟ್ರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸು ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, KMF ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಕೋಳಿ ಆಹಾರ
KMF and various other farmers are purchasing
ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸೋದು.
the maize.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪಶು ಆಹಾರನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮೆಕ್ಕೆಜೋಳನೇ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸೋದು. ಸೊ ಇವೆರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ಮೇಜರ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಸಾರಿ
maize is used in poultries and to feed the cattle.
ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ
Because of the extensive usage, the farmers have grown maize extensively.
54ರಿಂದ 55 ಲಕ್ಷ ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಟನ್ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಜಿದೆ.
54 to 55 lakh metric tons of
55 ಲಕ್ಷ ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್
maize
ಟನ್
have been grown.
ಮೆಕ್ಕೆಜೋಳ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆಯಾಗಿ ಪೌಲ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅವರು ಒಂದು 20 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪಶು ಆಹಾರ
Some of the companies have accepted to purchase 20,000 metric tons.
ಇವರು 7ರಿಂದ 10 ಲಕ್ಷದವರೆಗೆ ಎಥನಾಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು.
The ethanol producers have agreed to purchase 5 to 7 lakh metric tons.
ಆಮೇಲೆ MSP ನಿಗದಿ ಮಾಡೋರು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, FRP ನಿಗದಿ ಮಾಡೋರು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ.
MSP is defined by the union government.
ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು ನಮ್ದೇನು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಸದರ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರಿಬೇಕು.
Despite the price fixation has been done by union government in various other levels, the union government says it has no take when it comes to MSP.
ಅವತ್ತು ಹೌಸು ಅಡ್ಜನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಂಬರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಟಿಯವರು ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರು ಕಾಲ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಡ್ಜನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅವತ್ತೇ ಕರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
And the first day of assembly on December 8th might be urgent because of that.
ಸದಸ್ಯರುಗಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವರು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಯೋಣ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ
ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನಾಯಕರನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್?
ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ನಾಯಕರನ್ನ ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್?
ಸಮಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ನಮಗೆ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ.
Reporter's question if the CM Siddaramaiah is with the High Command and he says if the High Command provides him time, he will make sure that he meets some of the persons from High Command.
ಬುಧವಾರ ಮಂಗಳೂರು
3ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ವೇಣುಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ.
Venugopal and I will be going as the guests to that program.
ಫುಡ್ ಸರ್ ಏನು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ?
What is the difference between the breakfast between both of your houses?
ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ವೆಜ್ಜು.
ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್
ಇವನು
ವೆಜಿಟೇರಿಯನ್, Shivakumar's house and it was veg in my house.
ಆದರೂ ನಾನು ನಾನ್ ವೆಜಿಟೇರಿಯನ್
ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದೆ.
ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಇದರಿಂದ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಿಂದ ಕೋಳಿ
non-vegetarian, I hadn't cooked non-vegetarian. I had asked DK Shivakumar to bring chicken from the farmland.
Pure vegetarian.
ಪ್ಯೂರ ಏನದು ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು?
ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ರೀಶಫಲ್ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ವಿಚಾರ ಸರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ರೀಶಫಲ್ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಬ್ಬರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ? ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ರೀಶಫಲ್ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಕೇಳಪ್ಪ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊನ್ನೆನೇ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ನವರು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದರಂತೆ ನಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಏನು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೋತಾರೆ.
We've discussed about the leadership change the last time we met. We have already told you that we will abide by what the High Command
ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್? ಸರ್
ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಏನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ
ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಶಾಸಕರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಚಿವರಿಗೂ ಇದನ್ನ ಕನ್ವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ದು ನಾವು ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ,
ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಕೆಲ ಶಾಸಕರುಗಳಿಗೆ
ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ
we are always united.
ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿರೋದಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ.
It is not only today or day before yesterday where we stand united. It was always that we were united.
ಇದ್ರ ಊಟ ಎಂಥದ್ದು CLP ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅವತ್ತೇ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಸರ್, ಕಳೆದ ಮೈತ್ರಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೋಡೆತ್ತುಗಳು ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡು ತುಂಬಾ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪದಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಬ್ಬರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬರ್ತಿದೆ.
ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಬ್ರದರ್ಸೇ, ಒಂದೇ ಪಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಂದೇ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
We are always brothers. We are in the same ideology. We are in the Congress family.
ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೋಬೇಕು.
28 elections also we will work together.
ನೀವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರೆದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನೇ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರಿತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನಾಡಿ.
ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್?
ನೀವು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ,
I have understood all your questions.
ಹಾಕೋದು ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ?
You know why you ask leading
ಆ
questions?
ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗಳು ನೀವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ.
You know what is the leading question?
ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್
Someone learned asking leading questions.
Discussion about sir today you held a breakfast meeting with the deputy chief minister.
Today DK Shivakumar has invited me for breakfast.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಟ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಂಬಂದು ಕುಡಿದಿದ್ದು.
For breakfast,
ಇಲ್ಲೇ ತುಂಬಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡೆ.
I agreed to come on Tuesday. Today, both of us had a breakfast, and DK Suresh was also present, and Kunigal MLA Rangnath was also there. So we four jointly had a meeting, had a breakfast, and we have not discussed anything during the breakfast.
Shivakumar sir, this time.
Sir, you have not discussed anything, sir. You said you would.
After that we discussed. No. After that, after the breakfast, we, myself and DK Shivakumar, you have discussed regarding the assembly session is to be held
DCM sir.
from 8th of December, and what strategy we should adopt, that has been discussed. And also we have discussed regarding the meeting of the MPs who are representing Karnataka and Delhi. So it was decided that we should call a meeting of the MPs on 8th of December. So we will discuss in the meeting the issues of the farmers, other people of the state. We'll ask them to the issues regarding Karnataka. That's all we have decided. And whatever decision we have already taken in the breakfast meeting that I have invited, that we shall, both of us, should listen to the whatever decision taken by the High Command. Whether it is mostly Rahul ji and Sonia ji and Karge ji.
Sir, when the High Command likely to take decision, sir? Any timeline, anything that has been communicated, sir?
So far, no communication.
Will you all be going to Delhi, sir, to meet the High Command? You and sir. Sir, will you
If
be
they
going?
call us, we will definitely go.
Sir, you're meeting Mr. Venugopal, sir, at an event. Would you be asking him about when they're likely to call you?
Tomorrow, I'm meeting Venugopal in a function where both of us are invited.
DCM sir.
Sir, Atiti Deva Bhava, you had Atiti at your home, sir.
ಇವತ್ತು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನೇ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ಮೊದಲು ನನ್ನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ವೆಜಿಟೇರಿಯನ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ಬಂದು ನಾವು ಇಬ್ಬರೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ
We very happily enjoyed the breakfast together.
ಮೈಸೂರು ಟೇಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು.
He wanted the Mysore taste.
ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ರಾಜಕೀಯ
So it is his breakfast.
ನಮಗೆ 4 MLC ಸೀಟ್ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು.
We've had our breakfast together and discussed about the politics as well. We had to announce about 4 MLCs. We've already spoken to Surjewala.
ಪ್ಯಾನೆಲ್ನ ನಾವಿಬ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
Surjewala and various other leaders had mentioned that they would
ಆ ವಿಚಾರ ಕೂಡ
talk
ಚರ್ಚೆ
to some of the leaders. We have sent our list.
ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ವಿಚಾರ ಕೂಡ ಚರ್ಚೆ
That matter also we discussed. We also discussed about the party and the government.
ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವ
We've
ರೂಪರೇಷೆ
also discussed about the assembly.
ತರಬೇಕು, ಶಾಸಕರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಸಂದೇಶ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇನು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ತರಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದು
We've discussed on
ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು
how
ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
to continue with the
ಕೂಡ ನಾವು
various of the protests, developmental works. We discussed on the issues related to message which has to be transferred to the MLAs.
ನಾವು ಏನು ತಂದು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಎದುರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸಿದ್ಧರಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ
We are ready to face any issue that the BJP or JDS
ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ. 8ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಬಹುಶಃ ಹೋಗೋದು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ,
also discussed about the
ವಾಪಸ್
all-party
ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡೋದು
meeting.
ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಲೆಕ್ಕಾಚಾರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು.
ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ
We've decided
ಕಾವೇರಿ ಇದು
to go to
ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್
Delhi
ಬಂದಿದೆ.
on 8th and come back on the same day.
ಮೆಕ್ಕೆಜೋಳ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬರಬೇಕಾದಂಥ
Also
ಹಣ
received the Kaveri judgment.
ಏನೇನು ನಮಗೆ RDPR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇರಿಗೇಷನ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಕೂಡ MP ಅವ್ರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು.
The amount or the
ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ
money that had to come from the union government towards states, various other projects
ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಹೌಸು, ಲೋಯರ್ ಹೌಸು
should be
JDS
brought to our state.
ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ
That's
ಯೋಚನೆ
why we
ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ.
decided to go to Delhi along with all the leaders.
ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್.
ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಶಾಸಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಸಚಿವರು ಈಗ ನೀವಿಬ್ಬರು ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಅವರು ಇದುವರೆಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರ.
ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಒಂದ್ ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಬೇರೆನೂ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅವರವರೇ.
See, none of our members were different camp. It is you
ಸಭೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ
who
ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು.
differentiated.
ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
All our MLAs are unitedly
All our MLAs are united.
opposition.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಸರ್, ಇಬ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್? ಇಬ್ರು ಮುಖಾಮುಖಿಯಾಗಿ
ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಜೆಡಿಎಸ್ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳು ಸದನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂತೆ.
ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ವಿಚಾರ ಇದೆ? ಖಾಲಿ ಟ್ರಂಕ್.
ಸರ್, ಈಗ ಸೋನಿಯಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಇಬ್ಬರು ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ
BJP is an empty trunk. They can protest with whatever they want.
ಕರಿಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಗೆ.
The High Command should call us and then we might go.
ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ
ರಾಜಕೀಯ
no differences. myself and D.K. Shivakumar.
There are no differences between us.
We unitedly run the government. In the future also, we will run the government united.
We will run the government together. In future also, we will run the government in the same way.
No. You see, High-Command has to take a decision on it.
ಈಗ
R.V. ದೇವರಾಜ್ ಅವರು MLA ಆಗಿದ್ದವರು.
Speaking about the demise of R.V. Devraj, the former MLA who died of a heart attack the previous night.
ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸುಮಾರು 67 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಚಾಮುಂಡಿ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ದರ್ಶನ.
R.V. Devraj was around 67 years of age. It is an unfortunate incident.
ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಹೃದಯಘಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಬಹಳ
When he was in Chamundi Hills in Mysuru, it is believed that he had a heart attack. Tomorrow was his birthday. He wanted to be in Chamundi Hills today.
ಚಾಮುಂಡೇಶ್ವರಿ ದೇವಿಯನ್ನ ದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಧನರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು
ಮಂಜಣ್ಣ ಎಲ್ಲೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ?
ದೇವರಾಜರವರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ದೇವರಾಜು ಅವರು ಒಬ್ಬ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಿಷ್ಠಾವಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತ. ಅವರ ಅಗಲಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಪಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹೊಡೆತ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ವಾರದಿಂದ
The loss of R.V. Devraj has brought a major loss to the party.
ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ
He had come to meet me a week ago.
ನಾನು ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ
He had come to discuss about the transfers of some of the police inspectors.
ಅವರು ಪಕ್ಷದ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಭಾಳ ನಿಷ್ಠಾವಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತ. ಸೊ ಅವರನ್ನು ಅಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಳ ನೋವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವರ ಆತ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಚಿರಶಾಂತಿ ದೊರಕಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಅವರ ಅಪಾರವಾದಂಥ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಅವರ ಕುಟುಂಬ ವರ್ಗದವರಿಗೆ ಅವರ ಸಾವಿನ ದುಃಖವನ್ನು ಭರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಡಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮುಲು ಒಂದು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಉಕ್ರೇನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಷ್ಯಾ ಯುದ್ಧದಂತೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ರಷ್ಯಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಉಕ್ರೇನ್ ಯುದ್ಧದಂತೆ ಅವರ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮುಲು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಶ್ರೀರಾಮುಲು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಈಗ
ಶ್ರೀರಾಮುಲು ಹೇಳ
ಈಗ ಆರ್.ವಿ. ದೇವರಾಜ್ ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ.
Taking a short break, viewers. Post the breakfast meet, we see the joint press conference of Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivakumar. However, no word on the power tussle. Stay tuned.
R Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा.
R Pure सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ.
8 मिनट में तैयार.
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा R Pure मसाला. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल. ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े. क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
The Indian Army has rarely spoken so loudly without uttering a word. And in exercise Ram Prahar, it delivered perhaps its clearest message from the Western Front in recent years, not through speeches or press conferences, but through a powerful demonstration of what it can actually do.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
ದೇವರಾಜ್ ಅರಸರವರು ಆಮೇಲೆ ದೇವರಾಜು ಕೂಡ ಅರ್ಹತೆ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ.
ಡಿ.ಕೆ. ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಿಎಂ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್? ಡಿ.ಕೆ. ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಿಎಂ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ?
ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಹೇಳೋದಲ್ಲ.
ಸರ್ ಧಾರವಾಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಖಾಲಿ ಹುದ್ದೆ ಭರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
All right, the press conference has just gotten over, viewers, and there was no direct word on the power tussle. Even when the media persons present there, the press present, they asked questions about a cabinet reshuffle. That was one of the questions being asked. We see that they did not give a straight answer. Both Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivakumar didn't give a straight answer. They said that the High Command will take the final decision on that front as well, viewers. So this is coming in just after the breakfast meet has gotten over. And when asked direct questions, we see that they both said that they were discussing the strategy for the upcoming assembly session. At this assembly session, the BJP is planning to move a no-confidence motion against the Siddaramaiah government there. So they are saying that they will be planning a strategy to counter that once the assembly session begins. So back-to-back updates coming in Republic TV. And we will try to go across to my colleague Abhishek, who has been on the ground and translating that entire press conference for us. There was no direct answer about the power tussle, the cabinet reshuffle. They said that the Congress High Command will be taking those bigger decisions later on. Now we see that both the leaders are trying to put up a brotherhood front. That was the entire play that we saw there in Karnataka after months and months of speculation that both of them are engaged in a power tussle over the chief minister's chair. So big update coming in, viewers of Republic TV. We'll try to, of course, go across to my colleague in a short while from now. And then we will be dissecting, as Abhishek will once again tell us what we just heard in that press conference. However, the key highlight being no exact statement on the power tussle. Coming in the backdrop of the breakfast meeting that took place a short while back, the two leaders who have been squabbling over the chief minister's post since the 2023 elections sat down for breakfast this morning. And this was the second breakfast in the past couple of days. We have seen that they have been breaking bread together in the past couple of days as the Congress High Command has told both the leaders to sort out their issues. We'll, of course, go to my colleague in a short while from now. Let's go to Abhishek. Abhishek is joining us live. Abhishek, the big question, of course, is that why was there no word on the power tussle? They skirted that issue pretty well. But even when the press was asking about cabinet reshuffle, they did not really give a very clear response there. Yes, Abhishek.
Well, the leaders have seem to have decided not to talk about the power tussle in front of the media, because they had previously mentioned that they would be discussing on various other issues related to their party, related to the government, related to the governance, but they would not want to discuss about the same in front of the media, because media and BJP and JDS, DCM D.K. Shivakumar and CM Siddaramaiah, both of them mentioned the three names that were BJP, JDS and media. where the actual people who differentiated between the MLAs, and we'll have to look at the conversation of DCM DK Shivakumar and CM Siddaramaiah, where DCM DK Shivakumar and CM Siddaramaiah answered the media stating that.
Yes, go ahead, Abhishek, we can hear you. Okay. We'll try to fix that. Abhishek is on the ground, and he was translating for us a press conference which took place. So amid the tussle that we're seeing for the CM's post, and we have seen that finally that there's a press conference post, that breakfast meet which took place. Both TK Shivakumar and the CM held a breakfast meeting at the residence of DK Shivakumar a short while back. The meeting lasted around 45 minutes or so. And let's move ahead, viewers. We'll be coming back to the story for much more next. Let's move ahead, viewers. Now, let's move ahead to the other story we're tracking. Bharat in 2 minutes, where we'll get to all the updates from across the nation. Voting for rural, urban, local body elections is underway in Maharashtra as a state heads into the first phase of multi-tier polls. Paid holiday has been mandated for all employees by the state in the poll-bound districts, along with strict 3 consecutive dry day norms. 264 councils and 42 Nagar Panchayats are up for elections in the first phase. Brigadier Usman Premier League began in Naushera sector of Rajouri in Jammu and Kashmir. The cricket tournament by the Indian Army is part of the Operation Civil Military Initiative of Goodwill. It was launched to help people who were affected by terrorism in remote areas and building trust between civilians and the Indian Army. Operation is seeing enthusiastic participation of youngsters. National capital continues to choke under the blanketed layer of toxic smog. And as we can see that the national capital continues to choke, with the AQI level is getting into one of the worst categories. And this is coming in as the national capital is seeing thick layer of smog in multiple places. Heavy rainfall triggered by Cyclone Ditwa has caused waterlogging in parts of Chennai. The cyclone had turned into a depression before making landfall, but its after effects can be seen on the coastal regions. Schools and colleges remain closed as IMD has issued orange alert in Chennai. Torrential rain and unsafe sea conditions continue in parts of Tamil Nadu. Preparations are underway in Prayagraj as UP is set to host the largest Mela yet in 2026. Huge footfall of spiritual travelers and tourists expected as the government ramps up amenities for the Magh Mela and accommodation to host the gathering. The Mela will commence from Jan 3rd, 2026. And viewers, as Cyclone Ditwa has gone ahead and has hit Sri Lanka and is near the coastlines of India as well, we see that there is massive damage to Sri Lanka. In the midst of all this, we see that India has launched Operation Sagar Bandhu, with the Indian Navy taking the charge and giving relief and aid to its neighbor, Sri Lanka. Okay, we're getting some more reactions coming in.
And due great appreciation from all the participating countries, as also whenever she made a port call. All that is there in the open domain again. The second initiative which we did was AKEM, which is Africa-India Key Maritime Engagement, also means unity in Sanskrit, wherein we partnered with 9 African countries and we assembled in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Our Honorable Raksha Raj Mantri was present there along with the Defense Minister of Tanzania, and we had great camaraderie, exchange of
Taking a short break, viewers, deadlock continues in both the houses of as opposition demands debate over EC's SIR exercise.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा, मसाला। आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
The Indian Army has rarely spoken so loudly without uttering a word. And in exercise Ram Prahar, it delivered perhaps its clearest message from the Western Front in recent years, not through speeches or press conferences, but through a powerful demonstration of what it can actually do on the battlefield. What happened in the deserts and plains under Kharga Corp was not just another military exercise, but a carefully planned signal about capability and intent along our border with Pakistan. The numbers tell part of the story, with over 20,000 soldiers organized into battle groups that can fight independently, suggesting that the army is moving away from old defensive tactics toward a more aggressive approach that can strike on multiple fronts at once. This is not the army that waits behind borders anymore, but one that is ready to take the fight into enemy territory if provoked. The scenario itself, a cross-border offensive in response to a Pakistani attack, makes clear that India is no longer content with merely defending its borders, but is prepared to hit back hard and fast. What makes Ram Prahar different from past exercises is how everything worked together like a well-oiled machine. Tanks like the T-90S Bhishma and upgraded T-72 with night vision capabilities worked alongside artillery guns like the K-9 Vajra and Pinaka rocket launchers that can hit targets 90 kilometers away. The army showed it could cross deep rivers under fire using special bridge-laying tanks that can set up a 20-meter bridge in less than 4 minutes while enemy guns are firing at them. Special forces were dropped at night from heights of 25,000 feet deep behind enemy lines, showing that Indian forces can strike anywhere, not just at the border. But the real story is not about tanks and guns alone, but about how technology has changed warfare itself. The exercise used drones by the dozens, from surveillance platforms to swarms of 50 kamikaze drones that can attack targets on their own, alongside systems that can jam enemy drones and shoot them down. The time between spotting an enemy target and firing at it was reduced to just 5 minutes using computers and artificial intelligence that help commanders make faster decisions. Electronic warfare units jammed enemy communications across multiple frequencies while keeping Indian networks secure, and cyber teams practiced attacking enemy command centers digitally. Modern war is no longer just about who has more soldiers or bigger guns, but about who controls the invisible world of communications, satellites, and computer networks. The army demonstrated it could move, strike hard, and hold ground inside enemy territory within 72 to 96 hours, showing a strategy built on speed and shock rather than slow, grinding advances. This matters because in today's world, with television cameras and international pressure, military victories must come quickly before diplomacy forces everyone to stop. It reflects lessons from recent conflicts, where hesitation costs more than decisive action, and where the side that acts fastest often wins, regardless of overall strength. Equally important is that most of the equipment used was made in India, from Dhanush howitzers to indigenous bridges to homegrown kamikaze drones. This means India can fight a sustained war without depending on foreign suppliers who might refuse to send spare parts or ammunition during a crisis. The presence of some imported systems like Apache helicopters alongside Indian equipment shows a practical approach that uses the best available technology.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thank you for joining us on Republic TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, and you're watching Republic. The Parliament is deadlocked as we speak. The session began 1 hour ago, and it's deadlocked. They're not allowing the Parliament to function. Opposition MPs asking for a debate on SIR, or the Special Intensive Revision. Our focus on that and more at 12. Here are the headlines. Major controversy over government-mandated app Sanchar Saathi. Government wants all mobile manufacturers to have the app embedded on their platform. Opposition calls it snooping.
Now, Dr. Shivakumar Mittal.
Deadlock over Special Intensive Revision in Parliament, deadlocked for a second consecutive day. Opposition protests inside Parliament, asking for SIR to be stopped. Congress leading that fight. Congress tries to buy more time in Karnataka. DK Shivakumar and Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah meet in Bengaluru for a second time. Say they will fight the BJP together, at least for the time being. With no clarity on the condition of Imran Khan in Pakistan, PTI, his party, says they will be taking the fight to the court anytime soon. Going across straight to the Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, as we have a situation where the Parliament is deadlocked inside. Outside there are protests, inside there are sloganeering, and this is because of the SIR, which was successful in Bihar. And after Bihar, political parties, including the Congress, asking for it to be stopped elsewhere. There's a live shot from Lok Sabha. Let's cut across live.
By the Secretary General Rajya Sabha of the 11 bills passed by the Houses of Parliament and assented to by the President. The bills of lading 2025, the carriage of goods by sea bill 2025, the coastal shipping bill 2025, the readjustment of representation of scheduled tribes in assembly constituency of the state of Goa bill 2025, the merchant shipping bill 2025, the national sports governance bill 2025, the national anti-doping amendment bill 2025, the Indian Ports Bill 2025, the Minerals and the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill 2025, the Indian Institutes of Management Amendment Bill 2025, and the Promotion Regulation of Online Gaming Bill 2025.
Item number 11, Shri Kiran Rajuji.
Sir, I rise to present the 11th report of the Business Advisory Committee.
Item number 12, Dr. Nishikant Dubey.
आदरणीय सभापति महोदय, मैं आज की संशोधित कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 12 पर मेरे नाम के समक्ष यथा सूचीबद्ध संचार और सूचना प्रौद्योगिकी संबंधी स्थायी समिति का 21वां और 22वां प्रतिवेदन प्रस्तुत करता हूं।
Item number 13, Batrudeep Mehtab.
On to a controversy that's developing in Parliament, with opposition parties mostly raising objection to the government's initiative. It's a Ministry of Telecom initiative to embed an app called the Sanchar Saathi app. Now, this app has been mandated by the government to be embedded on mobile phones. So all mobile manufacturers have been asked to ensure that the app is on. In fact, what the app does is it helps fight cyber crimes. And the Telecom Ministry in its directive had asked every smartphone maker to have the app pre-installed, which means before they sell it, it should be pre-installed. And the company is given 90 days to comply to make sure that the Sanchar Saathi app is mandatory. Government orders specified that users should not be able to remove or disable the app. The opposition has now questioned the government's initiative, which was aimed at bringing security and awareness through this platform, which is Sanchar Saathi, which was designed essentially to fight cyber crimes and has now been made mandatory. Essentially, what the app does is it will fight unwanted calls, which most people get, suspicious links and apps through which most people are duped, and it helps find, recover lost phones. These are just some of the benefits of having the app. But of course, the opposition is giving it a snooping spin. Here's what the government is saying on it.
ऑपोजिशन ये जो इशू ढूंढ करके लाने का आवश्यकता नहीं है। विंटर सेशन पार्लियामेंट में बिजनेस तय किया गया है, बहुत सारा मुद्दे हैं और कई मुद्दे जो ऑपोजिशन ने भी उठाया है उस पर हम बातचीत करके आगे क्या करना है इसमें विचार करेंगे। नए नए मुद्दे ढूंढ करके पार्लियामेंट को डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए बहाना बनाने का कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है। हर मुद्दे
छोटे छोटे पार्टी के सदस्य भी हैं, एक एक पार्टी के एक सदस्य का भी यहाँ मेंबर है, सबका बात सुनना चाहिए। दो चार पार्टी मिलकर के संसद को आप ठप करेंगे, ये बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है। चुनाव में हार जीत होता है, सभापति महोदय, ये लोकतंत्र है, हार जीत होता है। मैं भी चुनाव में हारा हूँ, अटल जी भी पहले चुनाव हारे थे, लेकिन हारने से बौखलाहट होकर के गुस्सा आप यहाँ पार्लियामेंट में आप पूरा निकालेंगे, ये तो ठीक नहीं है। यहाँ देश के मुद्दों को लेकर के चर्चा करने के लिए हम सब आए हैं। मैं फिर से कहना चाहता हूँ, आप ऐसे हरकतें करने की वजह से जनता का विश्वास आप खोते जा रहे हैं। मैं आश्वासन देता हूँ, चाहे इलेक्शन का रिफॉर्म्स हो, कोई भी मुद्दे हैं, हम पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। देश का कोई भी मुद्दा हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार है। हमने कुछ प्रमुख अपोजिशन लीडर्स को बुलाया है। मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि ये अभी तक जो हंगामा किया है वो ठीक नहीं है, आगे और ना करें, इसका मैं अपील करता हूं। और मैं अपोजिशन के लीडर से बात करने के लिए पेशकश किया हुआ है और वो आने वाले भी है। हम बात करके कोई रास्ता हम निकल करके सबका बात हम सुनेंगे, आपका भी बात हम सुनेंगे, सरकार का भी आप सुनना है। लेकिन यहाँ नारेबाजी लगा करके जो आप लोगों ने दृश्य पेशकश किया है ये ठीक नहीं है। इसलिए मैं आपसे अनुरोध करता हूँ कि आप संसद का गरिमा को बनाए रखें और चर्चा के लिए हम लोग तैयार हो जाइए।
Members, I request all you to go and sit on the respective chairs. Please go back to your seats. The House stands adjourned to meet again at 2 p.m.
Sloganeering since the session started today. For second consecutive day, you had sloganeering on SIR. And the Minister, the Kiran Rijiju, asking for the opposition to ensure that at least there is a decent debate, saying after the Bihar elections, they are frustrated. Rakshita joining us live. Rakshita, it appears like the opposition is in a mood to block Parliament at any cost.
Yeah, well, that has been the, I think, playbook since day one, right from the word go of this winter session. It is a very, it's smaller, it's shorter in comparison to the previous ones. Having said that, it is important for the government to prioritize to get as many, the bills to be passed and debated, of course, first. And we see that whenever there is an introduction of bill, there is constant disruption. Today, well, it was just last evening, courtesy Manikam Tagore of the Congress announced that there will be protest today at the Makardwar, and that what happened since 10:30 we are witnessing. There are slogans being raised and banners being raised by Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, all the top leaders and of course, member of parliament taking part in that protest. And inside the parliament, adjournments after adjournments that was witnessed yesterday is the same thing that is happening today. One after the other, we see adjournments. Now the Lok Sabha has been adjourned, the Rajya Sabha already adjourned. Kiran Rijiju has been continuously assuring the opposition that there will be a discussion. We are not averse to the idea of any discussion. So it's not that the government has denied that they or refused to have any sort of discussion, but the fact that there has been no, there has been no promise still being made or any date or time that has been fixed, which the the opposition is essentially looking for. It is seeking, it is mounting pressure day by day, and we've seen that there have been multiple such sessions. Talking about the monsoon session, one of the most least productive sessions recently, where there have been washouts and there have been constant disruptions. Thanks to the constant disruption and walkouts, that we have seen no business really being carried out. So today we are witnessing, unfortunately, something like that is happening. At the same time, we've heard Kiran Rijiju, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, assuring that he is in talks with some of the members of the opposition, and that there will be discussions held as to what is the road ahead, how to go about the discussion on SIR. So as per sources, government is open to discussion, but yes, from SIR to now the Sanchar Saathi app, there are multiple issues that are being raised as the opposition seeks to mount pressure on the centre.
Okay. Stay with me, because there is another controversy that is brewing, and we just spoke about it little briefly. A few minutes back, of the Sanchar Saathi app. We were getting in a soundbite of Kiran Rijiju, and we had to cut across to that. Essentially, this is turning out to be a flashpoint, and they're now some people are trying to compare it to Pegasus, etc., to try and blow this up when it's really not that big. They can't make that comparison in the first place. The government has said through an order, a directive, that mobile manufacturers will have to embed an app called Sanchar Saathi app. So essentially, when you buy a phone, the government has said all manufacturers will need to have this app as mandatory. What it essentially does is this app fights unwanted calls, suspicious links and apps. It saves you from that, safeguards you. And it also helps you find lost mobile phones. And the Telecom Ministry had put out a directive asking every smartphone maker to have the app pre-installed, which means when you buy a phone, you will get with the app embedded on it. And you can't really delete it or disable the app. That's one of the prerequisites, that you can't disable it, you can't remove it. Companies were given 90 days to comply to make the Sanchar Saathi app mandatory. And the Telecom Ministry directive asks every smartphone maker to have the app pre-installed. The opposition today, just before the session began, questioned the government's security and awareness platform. Here are some of the responses that are coming in from the Parliament on this controversy.
ऑपोजिशन ये जो इशू ढूंढ करके लाने का आवश्यकता नहीं है। विंटर सेशन पार्लियामेंट में बिजनेस तय किया गया है, बहुत सारा मुद्दे हैं और कई मुद्दे जो ऑपोजिशन ने भी उठाया है, उस पर हम बातचीत करके आगे क्या करना है इसमें विचार करेंगे। नए नए मुद्दे ढूंढ करके पार्लियामेंट को डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए बहाना बनाने का कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है। हर मुद्दे अपने जगह में इम्पोर्टेंट है, लेकिन मुद्दे को आप हथियार बना करके पार्लियामेंट को स्टॉल करेंगे, ये तो ठीक नहीं है।
संचार साथी ऐप को लेकर भी ये लोग सवाल उठा रहे हैं, कह रहे हैं कि सरकार जो है वो घोषणा पेगासस जैसी बातें चल रहा है, क्या करेंगे?
अरे ये सब बेशर्म लोग।
संचार साथी ऐप को लेके भी ये लोग सवाल उठा रहे हैं, कह रहे हैं कि सरकार जो है वो घोषणा पेगासस जैसी बातें चल रहा है, क्या कहेंगे?
अरे ये सब बेशर्म लोग।
And we have the opposition which raised questions outside the parliament. Here's what the opposition is saying on the app. And remember that, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why this app was brought primarily, or why it was conceived and eventually designed, was to fight cyber crimes. There are millions of Indians who are duped on the phone and fall prey to cyber crimes. And that is why this app was brought. That was the primary objective of it. But here is what the opposition is saying. Let's play out some of the responses.
App, so it is a snooping app. I mean, clearly it's ridiculous. Now, where else do they want to, I mean, citizens have their right to privacy. Even all of you must be having a right to privacy to send your own messages to family, friends, without the government looking at everything. It's not just one thing. It's not just snooping on the telephones. It's overall. They are turning this country into a dictatorship in every form. You ask me every day why Parliament is not functioning. It's not functioning because they are refusing to talk about anything. So it's very easy to blame the opposition, but the fact is they are not allowing any discussion on anything, and that is not democracy. A healthy democracy demands discussion and everybody has different views. You hear them out.
प्रियंका जी, आपकी पार्टी ने क्या मांग करेगी? संचार साथी ऐप को वापस लिया जाएगा?
अभी मैंने सबसे बात नहीं की है, तो आज शायद वो चर्चा करके अपना डिसीजन लेंगे कि हमारा क्या स्टैंड है.
लेकिन गवर्नमेंट इज सेइंग इट्स फॉर नेशनल सिक्योरिटी, सो दैट कैन नॉट बी मिसयूज्ड. द फ्रॉड विल बी इजी टू रिपोर्ट. द गवर्नमेंट फॉर नेशनल सिक्योरिटी.
But that's a very fine line, no? It's a very fine line between fraud is easy to report and we can see everything that every citizen of India is doing on their phone. So that's not how it should work.
Okay.
There should be an effective system to report fraud, and we've discussed this at great length on cyber security and this and that, and definitely there's a need for cyber security, but that doesn't mean that it gives you an excuse to go into every citizen's telephone. I don't think any citizen would be happy.
सरकार संचार साथी ऐप लेकर आई है, क्या
को आप भी संचार साथी बोल रही हो? सरकार का साथी है। सरकार अपनी असुरक्षा को खत्म करने के लिए बहुमत में होने के बावजूद अल्पमत वाली मानसिकता में जी रही है, इसलिए चाहती है हर फोन में घुस जाए और सर्विलांस करे।
सरकार तो कह रही साइबर फ्रॉड को रोकने के लिए लेकर आया गया।
अब अगर सरकार कह रही है तो आपका ये सवाल नहीं बनता, क्योंकि आपको भी भरोसा नहीं है।
सर, सरकार जिस तरीके से कह रही है मोबाइल फोन में संचार साथी ऐप होगा, लेकिन विपक्ष सवाल उठा रहा है उस पर।
किस पर सवाल उठा रहा है? आज जिस ढंग से साइबर फ्रॉड हो रहा है, हजारों करोड़ रुपए कोई पुलिस बनकर, कोई कुछ करके, कोई एक ओटीपी मांग करके जनता को मूर्ख बनाता है। बाद में पता चलता है कि वो मोबाइल नंबर नहीं है, IMEI टूटा हुआ है, मोबाइल 10 साल पहले से अबंडन है, व्हाट्सएप चल रहा था। इस तरह के साइबर फ्रॉड को रोकने के लिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी और अश्विनी वैष्णव जी का बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। इसके काफी दूरगामी परिणाम होंगे और एक तरह से साइबर क्राइम बंद हो जाएगा। विपक्ष को ऐतराज है तो विपक्ष को कोई अच्छे सजेशन के साथ आना चाहिए।
अगर हमारी प्राइवेसी का हनन होगा,
विपक्ष बताए ना कि इससे अच्छा क्या सोल्यूशन है। हम लोग ओपन है, आइए डिस्कस कीजिए लोकसभा में। आपको अगर लगता है कि नहीं यह ठीक नहीं है, इसके बदले ऐसा होना चाहिए, लेकिन अगर वो यह कहते हैं कि देश के नागरिकों को साइबर फ्रॉड में शिकार होने की छूट दी जाए, तो यह तो देश को मंजूर नहीं।
And quick check of the top stories across the country. Bharat in 2 minutes. Voting for the rural and urban local body elections underway in Maharashtra as the state heads into first phase of multi-tier polls. Holiday mandated for all employees by the state and poll-bound districts, along with strict 3 consecutive dry day norms. 264 councils, 42 Nagar Panchayats are up for elections in the first phase in Maharashtra. Brigadier Usman Premier League. began in Naushera sector of Rajouri in Jammu and Kashmir. The cricket tournament by the Indian Army is part of Operation Sadbhavna, a civil-military initiative of goodwill. It was launched to help people affected by terrorism in remote areas and building trust between civilians and the Indian Army. The national capital continues to choke, blanketed in a layer of toxic smog as AQI remains in the very poor category. AQI of majority of areas in Delhi and NCR was recorded near 350. That's the mark this morning, making air hazardous to breathe. Heavy rainfall triggered by cyclone Ditwa has caused waterlogging in parts of Chennai. The cyclone had turned into a depression before making landfall, but its after effects could be seen on the coastal region. Schools and colleges remain closed as IMD has issued an orange alert in Chennai. Preparations are underway in Prayagraj as Uttar Pradesh is set to host the largest Magh Mela yet in 2026. A huge footfall of spiritual travelers and tourists expected as the government ramps up amenities and accommodation to host the gathering.